And we're live, everybody, live on my channel. What is happening? All right, who all's hanging out with us on this fine evening? I see Rollinson Man. What's up, Rollinson Man? Thanasis is here. What up, Thanasis? How you doing, brother? My Lord Wrench. My Lord Wrench, what is happening? Thomas Hull, how you doing? Lewis Knight in the house. I was going to say, I know there's a whole bunch more people than that. This thing's trying to give me the delays. All right. There's Tooney. What's up, Tooney? How you doing, brother? Adam Thomas. How you doing, Adam Thomas? Canadian Vapors in the house. Al Ben. What's up, Al? Amber K's in the house. How you doing, Amber? Cherokee. Bob Ohmstulo. What's happening? Fee's here. Gil 45, what's up, Gil? Ozzy Shano, Wendy Lou, what's up, Wendy? Bear Boss, what's up, Bear? Canadian Vapor, maybe Fresh 03 can organize a little barbecue. Meet at his place. You can show up, get a 30 ml bottle VSO of your choice. Oh, and tummy rubs for the cat. Swaggy Shane, you'd have to talk to Swaggy Shane about that. About getting the free 30 mils. Jeez. Gary Acito, what's up, Gary? Working hard on next month's homework already. Wombatsky's here. BT Cruiser. Divine Needle. What is going on? Jim Bohall. Brandy Pierce. Jim Bubba. How you doing, Jim Bubba? Timekeeper. Smitty. I'm trying to catch everybody. Michael Morris. What's up, Mike? V-Dog. V-Dog. What's up, V-Dog? Karen Seabolt's in the house. Tetley Man. Tyler the Vapor. I am Sam. What's up, Sam? We need to get Sam on some shows. He's a good dude. Hell of a mixer, too. Jeannie Sims. What's up, Jeannie? Dimlin. What's up, Dimlin? I think I'm mostly caught up. Jim Weidman. How you doing, Jim? So down. All right. He says he's down. Stormy. What's up, Stormy? Wife says hi. Perfect. Okay. What else? Isilis. Hi, Isilis. TMS 420. See, it took my brain a second. I'm like, wait a minute. Divine Needle is married to somebody I know. What's up, Isilis? 808 Kevin K. Alola, my friend. BT Cruiser. What's up, dude? Sam, you want to come on Saturday? You want to come hang out Saturday? Cheap. Jorge, what's up, man?
Hospital?
That could be Jorge Hospital. We don't know.
Pussy?
Just automatically just calling Jorge Hospital out. Hobag, what's up, dude? Church! How you doing, Church? Get those last couple of shout-outs in before we get going around the room here. Anybody else missing your shout-out? This is your chance before we get rocking, because once we get talking to Swaggy, it's a party.
Jab.
Friction. What's up, Friction? You know you're coming Saturday. You know you're invited, right? Just making sure you're aware of that. All right, looks like I caught everybody. All right, so Larry, how's your week been, man?
Good. Getting chewed out for stuff that I didn't do, but you know.
Pussy?
Is it stuff you were supposed to do, or just
No, it's the outlet's fault.
Okay.
Like they put it in an order today and it said, please bring up the new espresso machine cleaning stuff. And I'm like, there is no new espresso cleaning machine stuff. I'm like, well, you're not getting anything.
Perfect.
And then she came down and threw a fit.
Like, hey, where's our espresso cleaning stuff? Well, you didn't order any. You're supposed to read their minds, right, Larry?
Right?
Yeah. So, Lumi, how's your week been?
Allergies kicking me in the ass. Overly tired. Threw my back out.
So you're just having a party.
Typical Loomy days. Typical. It's one
Typical
of those
Loomy
roller
party.
coaster days.
I think Adam was trying to give you something there.
It's for friction.
Oh, that's for friction?
Yeah, it's 10 cents a minute for him topless. That'll get me 2.5 minutes.
There you go. Perfect.
I can do things in 2.5 minutes, plenty of time.
Bob Ohmstulo just threw a buck.
Oh shit.
People making it hail on the friction stage over there. Throwing quarters, dimes, pennies, any of it. Yep, I am Sam. We do have a very special guest on this fine evening. Adam, how's your week been, man?
Not too bad. Been busy with work. Been getting a bunch of extra hours since all the cashiers are either getting fired or quitting or going back to school or whatever.
It is that time of year.
Yeah. So they're getting desperate and calling all of us freight people in to be cashiers. So much so that me and Angel, who works with me, on the truck and whatnot and freight,
Yeah.
We were the closing cashiers a couple nights ago. So it was like a party basically. It was just us and like the closing manager Juanita, and I maybe rang up 10 people the whole night, and I was just basically just doing recovery, which is if it don't belong there, pick it up, put it where it belongs, kind of that deal. For like 5 hours I did that basically. It's great. It was nice.
Right.
Other than that, nothing. A whole lot of nothing. Work.
A lot of nothing. I feel that, man. Feel that.
Oh, tomorrow for TJ's show, there will indeed be a new tune.
I heard the song that I'm going to nominate next time you open the list up.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it was remarkable, and I had never heard the guy do the acoustic version of it, and apparently he had never done it on the video. He's like, that'd be kind of a weird one to do acoustic, and then proceed to rock out like one of the best versions of the song that I've ever heard. So
sweet.
So I was like, dude, Adam could do that because you could see the fingering on what he's doing, and it's just him and an acoustic guitar just rocking his fucking face off. Like,
nice.
Dude, that's right up Adam's line.
Heck yeah.
All right, now let's get to our specialist guest that we've had in quite some time. It's a good friend to all of us, good friend to the community, great all around human being, the sixth member of the Beatles himself. What's up, Swaggy Shane?
What's happening?
So all the lies I've been telling about you for how long now?
Hey, Mrs. Swag's getting a kick out of it, so.
They will continue. Don't worry, Mrs. Swag. It will all continue. So we've got the king of fruits himself, the man who puts out the best fruits on the market, the only Fresh 03 approved lychee in the game. So Swaggy, how's your week, brother?
It's been good. Not a lot of people know, but we just kind of had an impromptu move. Back at the beginning of pre-COVID Backstreet Boys reunion, we ended up selling our place, and COVID hit, and it was going to be, hey, like later on down September, October, pay land taxes, blah, blah, blah. And then they were like, hey, can you go ahead and get out? So we just, they were nice enough, and et cetera, et cetera. So we just went ahead and found an interim place. It's just been real crazy with all the stuff that's been going on, kind of moved with a week's notice kind of thing. I mean, I kind of knew, but I was kind of hoping that I didn't have to. But anyways, it's all for the better. So we're all kind of moved quasi right now, still getting out of boxes and stuff like that. But
I was gonna say it looks a lot different than where I normally see you, but
yes.
looking good, man. So I'm sure the audience is going to have a ton of questions about your flavors. How you get that blueberry so good, Swag?
But let's get some housekeeping out of the way first.
Sure.
Currently, we're starting into some of the new, different kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
to go along with tomato, some people have seen it, some people have not. But right now we have basil and celery that is available on the site right now.
Mm-hmm.
And Frumi is obviously live and kicking, so 25% off with Frumi. So I don't know how many people know about basil, but basil is part of the mint family. It's really nice. One of the reasons why it goes so well with tomato is because tomato has a lot of acidity inside of it, and it is very sweet in nature since it is a fruit. And that basil gets in there and works with the tomato, cuts the acidity down, and enhances that sweetness of the tomato. So if you happen to use that with BSO tomato, you're going to get a little bit of a sweeter flavor from it. And then obviously celery, there's a lot of people that as soon as I release tomato are like, what can I make with this?
Bloody
And we
Mary time?
obviously, yes. So I'm not quite sure about the Worcestershire sauce, however you say it, W sauce.
Yeah.
But I mean, it could be, could not be. We'll see what happens. But I'm gonna at this point guess perhaps not. So,
Worcestershire vape. Be
however you say the place over in England, I'm not.
Worcestershire.
Yes, there you go.
Worcestershire.
We'll say that.
Worcestershire.
There you go. I am Sam's goddess. Worcestershire.
Yes, that's it. Worcestershire.
That one.
There's a lady on YouTube that explains the etymology of it and everything. So,
What's up,
But-
Kathy?
so that's what's going on new, and I'm sure a lot of people do. We've experienced some pretty exponential growth in the past year.
I would hope so.
Yes, you guys know. It started out with just a few kind of beta tests, just kind of I was trying to nail some stuff down. One of the things that I was really trying to nail down, it's really difficult sometimes when you have all the different flavors and the different flavor companies and things of that nature that everybody's always asked, well, where should I start with this? Where should I start with that? And with the help of all you guys, I kind of came up with let's go 2% across the board. If you take this flavor and you want to single flavor it, go at 2%. And basically start from there. And that gives a great starting point for everybody across the board without having to say, oh, well, what do you think? Or, so anything from here on out is, and everything retroactively, except for blueberry, is going to be 2% across the board. Since Lumi threatened to cut me if I changed blueberry, it's there may be a version 2 coming along, but version 1 will not be changed. So if you love version 1, then by all means go ahead and get the original version. I'm just going to pass around some probably beta versions, see what other people think, and we'll go from there. So
I'm excited. I have faith in you. I have faith in you, Swaggy.
also,
Picture my fucking blueberry.
anybody who makes an order tonight, I will be throwing in 15 milliliters of blueberry and huckleberry tonight. So just go ahead and I'll throw in 15s of each of those. So if you haven't tried it, you can try it for free on me.
Do it.
If you have, you can have some extras on me.
Do it.
There you go, everybody.
Do it now.
Fidalgo says strong arm us. There you go. Yeah, 15 of the blueberry original and 15 of the huckleberry. That's two of my favorites. So, what's up, Tommy? Yes, everybody should do it. Yep. So go over there, use coupon code FRUMI, you get 25% off over on VSO Flavors. So yeah, go check it out. Go check out Swaggy Shane. You hear us talking about it all the time. You hear us. What am I reaching over and grabbing? I know it'll be good. Blackberry. Reach over and grab the blackberry. I know I can make an awesome blackberry mix. So go give them a shot. And you got you have that 5-pack over there. So you pick your 5. That's a heck of a startup as well. So everybody go check out Swaggy. So you do a lot of the natural extraction from the flavor, Swaggy.
Correct.
Yes.
So
you wanted to briefly describe the process a little bit, just kind of set people's mind at ease, because I know a lot of people had questions about that.
Sure.
Anytime they hear naturally extracted, they're like, whoa. So
right. All right. So one of the biggest things that everybody should know is everything that I offer is water soluble. If ever you want to put anything inside of an atomizer, you want to make sure that it is water soluble. So we use an ethanol extraction process. So what happens is you take blueberries, you take ethanol, you mix them together, you let them sit. Not unlike steeping at all. Actually, it is. You use a solvent to extract the flavors. And then what happens is also that ethanol is chilled. So it's at minus 10 degrees when it is being extracted. So you also, after that, I know that Wayne had some questions. He's doing a midweek, whatever he does, the midweek recipe review. Mm-hmm. And he didn't have any VSO flavors. He just made an order. Apparently, he's kind of in the dark and hasn't ever had anything from me.
He had your blueberry.
Oh, okay. So he wasn't exactly sure what the process I used or anything was, and there were some questions over there. But he said it's very much like marijuana extraction. Marijuana is a plant. Fruits are a plant. When you extract flavor from plants, the most economical way and the most efficient way to do it is with ethanol. So use a cold ethanol to extract flavors. And then there's a filtration process. So you go through, I use 3 different filtration mediums. So it's filtered 3 times, and you go incrementally smaller. Now with some of the darker ones, I've been using activated charcoal to try and get some of the pigmentation down. Mm-hmm. Like your blackberry from what you have is going to be a tinge lighter. Red raspberry is going to be a tinge lighter. I tried initially with the blueberry, and Lumi said hell no, because she could taste the difference. But the activated charcoal helps to remove some of the pigmentation, and that in turn makes it more kind to your coils. So, but that's the final filtration if it needs to have some of the pigmentation taken out of it. So, but all in all, it's a pretty easy process. A lot of people ask too. Initially, I put up that there was a small amount of fructose present. One of the things is you're talking about like 0.5 parts per million.
Yeah. And that's naturally in the fruit anyway. So.
Correct. Fructose and alcohol don't like to mix. I don't know if you've ever tried to make a spirit really, really sweet. But it doesn't actually mix with the alcohol very well. So the inherent properties of the alcohol prevent a significant amount of fructose from being transferred with the flavors. So I wanted to be transparent, but people really started freaking out about fructose, and so I've just been trying to explain to everybody it's so slight that it probably wouldn't even show up on a mass spectrometer. So
Yeah. So, all right. So there you go, everybody. That's how Swaggy makes his flavors. I'm gonna throw it to Lumi. Lumi, you got a question for Swaggy Shane while we got the expert in the house?
When am I getting oatmeal?
hey, let's see. I actually did. Larry knows because I've been talking to him. I am working on currently barley and rye.
I know
Obvious.
you're working on alcohol for Larry, but Larry doesn't count. Larry's new. I've been here forever.
Ouch.
Well,
so
I
where's
will
my oatmeal?
I will see. I'm using flaked rye and flaked barley, and depending on the outcome of the flaked rye and the flaked barley, we may go into some oatmeal. So we'll see.
Oh snap!
Those are the guinea pigs.
Yeah, let Larry be the guinea pig. Lumi.
I mean, I told him to make a pumpkin, and look at what happened there. So clearly, I know what I'm talking about.
I think the demand, though, for us DIYers for a pumpkin flavor was pretty big. Well, to be fair, though,
I think it was
good
bigger than
oats.
people thought.
Yeah.
Swag didn't even think. He was like, pumpkin? No, Lumi.
Well, honestly, I worked at Starbucks for so long, slinging pumpkin spice lattes to all the
Karens?
yes.
Basics.
You know that I really figured nobody would want just a plain old pumpkin, you know. So I I was utterly shocked. Like I didn't make enough to begin with, and I got slammed, and I was just I really was. I was just befuddled.
Yeah, I remember we started mixing with that pumpkin. It was like, holy crap, this is delicious. Like, wait a minute. Like, there's all sorts of stuff we could do with this. And then I put it up there as one of my best flavors of the year. And I remember befuddling the people on Developed when I talked about it. I'm like, no, like, you guys have no idea how good this flavor is. You have no idea. And getting a message from Swaggy Shane like, I think I sold it all. Like, oh, okay. But
Especially
yeah,
comparatively, because Lumi tried every pumpkin and yam flavoring, like from every damn company. In fact, I have all the rejects.
yeah.
Do you want this? Do you want this? Do you want this?
Rin,
Go
have,
into the trash if you say no, because fuck this pumpkin. Like,
Rin, have you tried
wasn't having
Swaggy's
it.
pumpkin? Have you tried Swaggy's
Said his
pumpkin? Rin?
pumpkin was good and it's trash. Absolutely right.
Hanks and pumpkin pie is good after.
I think I got
Well,
rid of
it's
that
not-
too.
No, well, I used to call it good until Swaggy came out.
Yeah, that was the best one comparatively for sure.
No, I don't even want to hear that anymore because whenever it was like that's the best pumpkin, I went out and bought so much of that stuff and it was trash, flat out trash. It's not even a pumpkin; it's trash, guys. Don't bother.
That's all. That's how much left in there. That's it right there.
Oh, I did send it to you.
Sure did. I told you, you
Did I-
sent me all the pumpkins.
Did I
and
send
yams.
you the yams too?
Yes.
I've still got so many yams and taros. Thanks, Leilani. Jeez.
She got you
So,
hooked.
Toonie said he was curious about your cryogenics process.
Oh, the winterization. Sorry, I forgot about
Yeah.
that portion of it. Okay, so after the third filtration, you do a winterization. Basically, that just means you bring it down to -10 Celsius, and if there's any kind of solids left, so anything that would be non-water soluble, it will freeze, and you just do the final filtration, and it will be removed from there. So.
Yeah.
But that's just it's called a winterization process. Once again, it's the same as if you do marijuana extraction. Um, Now, what they work towards is actually saving the oils. As we all know, that there were some serious problems with all kinds of stuff with marijuana cartomizers. That in and of itself too was one thing that people weren't understanding, that oils were not vapable.
Yeah.
So, but a yam, no yams, pumpkins enough.
So throw it over to Larry. Larry, you got a question for Swaggy?
When's barley and rye coming?
Oh, jeez.
Hey, I've been messing around with a bourbon too, so we'll see.
Oh,
It's hard.
Swaggy bourbon.
It's going to be hard to get questions out of us because we all hang out with Swag from time to time and just harass him and talk to him all the time.
It's true. Is it nothing like getting a midnight message from Swag? Like, wait, what? Yeah.
Hey,
Let me scroll through this a little bit.
I've graduated from Ambien, so that's why you guys haven't gotten weird messages in a long time.
That's
Good
really
deal.
unfortunate. I looked forward to those.
I
Sean?
actually have a pain medicine doctor who's a very big advocate for medicinal marijuana. So he's helped me out quite a bit in that area.
Excellent.
Gotten off a lot of medications, so simply by going that route.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot. Medically, there's a lot to say for marijuana. And THC in general. I mean, we see what CBD alone. We see what CBD alone does for a lot of people. And that's pulling a lot of the medicinal properties out of it. So it's I believe that we're on the cusp of a revolution in that direction. But it's here in America, 2 steps forward, 12 steps back. So Rin got the huckleberry. Yeah.
How did Rin get huckleberry?
She said she ordered it today.
Oh, yeah.
She ordered the mince and the huckleberry.
Yes, I remember that now.
The garlic is garlic available yet? Swaggy?
It is not available yet.
Okay. Garlic is not quite available yet, Divine Needle, but it will be.
Oh, you guys are looking for it.
There's actually I've been working with a bakery to get some flavors, and garlic and onion was one that they requested first. Obviously, garlic and onion are probably one of the worst things to process for anybody. So they were actually very happy. It's pretty potent stuff.
It is.
I even cut it really. There's virtually no garlic or onion in a whole batch. I mean, that's how potent it is. So, and it's like a 1 drop per 30 milliliter if you're going to do it that way, kind of thing.
It is.
God.
But yeah, there is garlic and onion. There's going to be a lot of stuff. Basically, I'm trying to. I mean, I'm a small operation, so space constraints are a pretty big thing for me. So that's that's the biggest hurdle currently right now. And hopefully, I mean, I would love to get a great big huge place where that wouldn't be a thing. So I mean, we're headed towards that, I hope. So things are like I said, we've grown exponentially in the past year. So the future is looking promising. So
And yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming down the road that people are going to be. I think they'll be pleasantly surprised by some of the herbs and spices that are coming. And I have spilled the beans that there is a leather out there. There's a leather flavor for the tobacco people.
I think we both have.
Yeah.
let's see. For the tobacco people, leather was a big one because Max and Slasha one day made a kind of haha funny. I'd love to have a leather flavor. So one of the things with leather, I'm not sure if I've talked to a lot of people, but anyways, I make wine and spirits and beer and things of that nature. I love making my own stuff because I can make it how I want it.
Yeah.
My palate's very refined, and what may taste okay to some people, I will generally get a lot of off notes on stuff. That's honestly why I started extracting my own flavors, is because I was getting a Flavor West flavor, and I'm like, what's this supposed to taste like? That's nasty,
Yeah.
But so in wine, you get your leathery notes from tannins, and the way that you get tannins in wine generally is from grape skins. So in VSO grape, I really don't want a leathery note in there because I want it to be a nice juicy grape.
Yeah.
So I remove the grape skins so that I don't get tannins. Well, since I am already removing grape skins that have tannins in them, I'm just using the tannins out of the grape skin, and then I just mix it with PG, and voila, you have VSO leather.
Yeah. And it's an amazingly friendly leather flavor for tobaccos. So.
And let's see. Also, Max and Slasha said, I'd really love a pine note. So there's pine in the works. Rosemary, thyme,
Yes.
cilantro. I mean, there's a whole lot of stuff. Basically, I went through a very herbaceous when spring hit. I really hit the herbs hard, and started stockpiling those. Doing the R&D on that. Each thing is going to take a little bit different. There's some different things that you need to do. Obviously, I can't give away everything. There's chemistry involved. We'll say that much. But each different thing, I may have to alter the process just a little bit in order to get the final end product that I want. Like I said, with grapes, obviously, removing the skin, that's part of the process so that you don't get some kind of bitter tannins in it. Another thing too, rhubarb was a real big pain in the butt because rhubarb has a lot of tannins in it because it can be really bitter by itself. If that's why you generally see it added to things like, strawberry rhubarb pie and things of that nature. So removing some of the things that you don't want in there is part of the process as well.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that rhubarb's wonderful. That's one of my favorite compotes.
I'm really happy with it. It was a little difficult getting it to the final end product just because I was getting a really, really bitter taste.
Yeah.
And I was honestly about to give up on it, but I mean, I finally got it to where I was really happy with it. So.
Yep, that's right, Tommy. That rhubarb dough. For those that have never tried a strawberry rhubarb pie, you're doing yourself a disservice. I've actually got one sitting out in the kitchen right now.
Somebody needs to send me one. Go. DoorDash.
The ones that I buy actually they're supposed to be pretty good shipped. So, who knows, Lumi? No, I'm not shipping you a pie. It would get all crushed. It would be awful. Like you'd just get like a plastic tin, and like all the other stuff that I've got for you just be covered in strawberry and rhubarb. Then I'd have to put up with you on a show for like 2 weeks just licking stuff.
Yeah, Gil
Bad
45.
thing?
One of the things that I have to make sure is that I can source something that will be sustainable. I tried plums, but believe it or not, plums are kind of hard to get as far as like a raw material type of thing in a big enough quantity. I deal with I don't know how many of you guys, obviously you guys all know Timmers,
Yeah.
but by Timmers is a pretty large produce purveyor. That's where I get a lot of stuff. That's where I actually got lychee from. A lot of the more out of the way kind of thing that you wouldn't be able to just normally find somewhere. I usually get up there and they have a lot of neat things, and plums is one thing that they really don't have much of. There's not. I mean, I live in Ohio, and I've yet to find a plum farm around here. So, which is really, I
Honeycrisp.
mean, Honeycrisp.
You just kind of answered my question. I was going to ask you about sourcing, like if you were public about that, if that was proprietary. So you kind of just answered it.
I mean, I was in one of the initial things. Blueberry was my first one, and that came about. My mother-in-law and my wife, before she passed, used to go to Maine, and that's where the initial Blueberry came from. And I still get shipments from Maine. So, but I mean, some of the stuff I have to change over now, just because we're basically starting all over again. But we're only going to be here for about 6 months, and then we're going to move to the place that we were going to move to instead of this is just a pit stop for right now. So, but we're going to move to a big place out in the country. It's got more room for us. And
You're gonna eat a lot of peaches.
yes,
Millions of peaches.
but we have to go into town when we pack them. So,
I have another question.
what?
I found it. Are we saying that I can have blueberries shipped to me from Maine?
Yeah.
Sure.
Why has nobody told me this before?
Google is
I mean-
your friend.
I can give you the number, and you can tell them send me blueberries.
Yes, please? Why haven't you done this already?
Well, I was
I hate-
going to send you some VSO hot sauce, but you're like, what?
You're so hot.
And I was like, oh, no.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Use hot. I eat TV dinners and cereal.
Put
and
hot sauce on
toast.
that shit.
You can put hot sauce
I've
on
never
TV
had-
dinner, no problem.
I was asking him. I was like, "What do I put it on?" And he's like, "What,
Anything.
Bloomy? What?" It's kind of like when I was
What
like,
don't
I've
you
never
put it
watched-
on?
Exactly.
What
So
don't
your
you put
guys'
hot
reaction
sauce on?
to me not watching Princess Diaries or whatever that fucking movie was called is what Swag's relationship was with me when I asked, "What do you put hot sauce on?"
Did you just compare the Princess Diaries to Princess Bride?
That one, sure. Yep, go for it.
Can you see the smoke rolling out of Fresh's ears?
I can't even.
I can.
So actually, yeah, it kind of got shelved just because the raw materials weren't. We were kind of doing some playing around with it and nailing down some recipes, but basically there's going to be blueberry, apple, strawberry, and grape initially. For any of you guys that know, those were the 4 original VSO flavors.
Yeah.
So we're going to do a little play on that. Initially, very good. One of the biggest problems that you're facing today with the hot sauce industry is people just want to melt your face off. So Carolina Reapers, like by themselves, kind of taste like ass. So if you actually nurture that and add flavor to it, you can get a pretty good hot sauce that can melt your face off, but it actually tastes really good. So that's kind of what we were working towards. I actually, with the Backstreet, I keep not wanting to call it Backstreet Boys reunion. With the Backstreet Boy reunion, there were a lot of things that got screwed up.
Mhm.
I initially ordered a lot of pepper seeds from Carolina Ed, who is the inventor of the Carolina Reaper. And I had a whole bunch of stuff planned to grow a bunch of peppers, and then 3 times the USPS lost my packet of seeds.
Oh Jesus.
And I mean, we're talking $75 worth of seeds they lost. So by the time I finally received my seeds, I couldn't have planted them, which in the long run is good, because the $75 in seeds would have just been for naught, because I wouldn't have been there to harvest them. So
when will cranberry be available? Isn't cranberry available right now?
it is not. Cranberry
cranberry's
is
not
going
available
to
yet?
be, no, it is going to be in 2 weeks.
Hashtag 2 weeks. There you go.
Yes, and actually, really 2 weeks. I've been staggering everything 2 weeks. So I've been releasing 2 every 2 weeks, just to. I mean, honestly, it's a marketing kind of thing too.
Yeah. Keep people interested.
Yeah,
know
keep
something's
people
coming.
interested. I mean, I could have released a whole bunch of them all at once, but people don't want to buy like 500 things at one time. So if you do 2 every couple weeks, then people can be excited about it. Hey, what's out this time, and that kind of thing. So here and there, like I know when I released Peach, it was on a homegrown alchemy show, just because Tam really likes peaches.
And she was
So-
doing millions of peaches week.
So I'm also a game head. I've been gaming since the 70s, basically. And Tuesdays is always a release date for
Yes.
games. So I just decided I'm going to do Tuesdays and release flavors on Tuesdays.
We're all gonna
So-
play the new Avengers game together.
It looks fun.
Oh,
It
It's
looks
like
like
Destiny
Destiny.
2, but with
Yeah.
Avengers.
I think that's all they did is just skin Destiny 2 myself. But,
There's worse things. There's worse things Square
Oh,
Enix
yeah.
could have done.
for real.
So I do actually have another question. I've noticed that a lot of folks who are really good at mixing, really good at producing flavors, do have a history with Starbucks, quite frankly. And I know that there's some pretty intensive training for some of the barista as you move up the barista line, learning different coffees, different flavors. So how is that kind of training that they gave you helped? Because like I said, some of my favorite mixers have a pretty rampant history with Starbucks.
One of the things, now you have to realize that I worked for Starbucks pre-Frappuccino when I first started working. So 1994 ish, 1994. Frappuccinos came out in 95. So I think it was like November or December of 94 that I started working. Now
I
back
was
then,
2 years old.
yeah. Back then, they were very coffee oriented. There are different varietals of coffee. Different regions have different flavor profiles. For instance, South America is going to be generally a medium-bodied coffee with a very high acidity. The flavor is going to be mellow, nothing significant or prolific. It's just going to be your average, not Maxwell House kind of coffee, but just your kind of average, middle of the road kind of coffee.
Mhm.
You're going to move to like the Indonesian areas, those areas are going to be like your very, very full-bodied coffee, light acidity. So there's a balance between acidity and body. So you're going to have a very full-bodied coffee with a light acidity. So you've got things like that. So one of the things that we really focused on was being able to taste a coffee, explain what it tasted like, try to place it in a specific geographical region based on its characteristics. So you actually really, really refined your palate to be able to taste something and identify it and put it somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So that actually, the further you went, you could actually do things like cuppings, which cuppings were Starbucks would get green beans from a specific region, and what they would do is take the beans, roast them gently, just to start extracting some of the oils. Are you making fun of me for talking with my hands?
No, I'm cupping things.
Oh, I gotcha.
She's cupping balls.
So you would do what was called a cupping. So you would basically slurp the green coffee and have a discussion about what you tasted, and have a discussion about the way in which the coffee was grown, the altitude the coffee was grown, the way that they dried the coffee, all the different things that went into a coffee. And the further that you progressed, you could actually become what's called a black apron.
Mm-hmm.
And a black apron just means you're a coffee master. That means that you have gone through the gamut of all the varietals of coffee that Starbucks offers. You can explain to a customer what fair trade is. One of the things with coffee was Brazil and Vietnam just flooded the market with crappy coffee, and it just plummeted the price of coffee, which, when you're talking about South America and Africa, that's very detrimental to their way of life.
Mm-hmm.
So different people set up what's called a fair trade, and they say no matter what happens with the commodity coffee, we will pay you X amount of dollars, no matter what. So, but Starbucks was also part of the fair trade. I honestly loved Starbucks. It's the best company that I've ever worked for. I mean, back in the 90s, they actually didn't care what laws or anything. If you were, same-sex partners, you got benefits, you got everything as a normal married couple would be. So they were very progressive as far as that goes, and
As far as I'm aware, it's still fairly progressive. So
yes. So, but I mean, they were the ones who really, forced my hand as far as my palate goes, being able to translate what's on my tongue into words and thoughts and all that kind of stuff. So
excellent. Somebody asked, why is there white grape juice in all the Starbucks drinks? Is it to cut acidity?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Someone asked, why is there white grape juice in all the Starbucks drinks? That may have been after your time.
White grape juice is, so usually when you sweeten things and you want to sweeten them naturally, you're going to use either apple juice or grape juice. Grape juice is generally going to be your cheaper alternative, but just because it's cheaper doesn't mean that it tastes, inferior. So basically, it's just it's a cheaper way to sweeten things naturally.
Perfect. Ricky Mahoney wants to know how many VSO flavors are there right now.
Right now, with the new release, I think there's 43. I'm losing track of how many.
43.
So
43 is a good number.
Up until, let's see, There were 52. So with the watermelon and all the betas that you got, the whole thing was 52, so it was going to last 1 year. So once all the betas got released and everything was going to be released, it was going to last until March of next year. But now, let's see, there's going to be fall stuff. So there's going to be a baked-ish apple.
Okay. Yes.
There's going to be cinnamon, clove, cardamom, ginger. I'm trying to think of everything right off the top of my head.
Look at people lighting up. Like Adam was gone for a minute. Lumi was gone for a minute. They're like, wait. Baked apple, clove,
ginger, or cinnamon, or baked apple. Holy shit!
So basically, one of the things is, like Lumi is, Lumi has said she wants a baked apple. I think it should be ready probably by about the end of September, beginning October. I think it's pretty close, so it should be pretty decent. But no, my ginger has soul.
Soulless gingers.
But basically, what I'm going to be trying to do is deconstructing a pumpkin spice. I know that Wendy has a lot of problems with cinnamon. So I'm going to try and basically, for all the people who don't like all the aspects of pumpkin spice, I'm going to try and do a deconstruction of a pumpkin spice where they can get pumpkin and whatever they want to go with it to make their own pumpkin spice. So that's in the works. So there's a lot. There's a really special one for Addy Tooney. He hasn't guessed it yet. So, and it's not papaya or guava, and I forget what else he guessed. I'm not sure.
Is it cornbread? Get Tooney another cornbread in his arsenal.
It may be a portion of cornbread.
Tooney.
I can't believe he didn't guess it initially, but so there's a lot in the works. Basically, it's not really difficult work to get it to where it needs to be. It's just time consuming, number one, because the whole process, depending on what you're extracting, it could take anywhere from a week to 6 weeks. So before any kind of filtration can happen, sometimes like rhubarb, the whole process takes about 6 weeks total. So that's the biggest hurdle, is just time and space.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you have something hanging around for 6 weeks, it's taking up space for 6 weeks.
Yeah. Well, that rhubarb is certainly worth it. I can tell you that. It is absolutely a fantastic, lovely, just kind of rhubarb compote type flavor. Works perfectly with that BSO strawberry and the red raspberry, and what else have I added it to? The apple. So there's a lot more uses to it than you'd initially guess, because it's got a lovely little bit of tartness, but you still get that sweet rhubarb flavor. And rhubarb's not normally sweet, folks, in case you didn't know. It's a bitter flavor. But
take a big old bite out of a stalk of rhubarb when it's raw.
Oh, I did that when I was a kid. I did that when I was a kid. Like,
that may ruin your day.
Brandy, I'm trying to avoid baked apple. Just like let's say you just threw an apple in the oven and baked it. I'm trying to avoid. I want to have everything deconstructed, so that if there's I don't want to have like an apple and cinnamon and ginger, all together. That way, if someone wants to make that specific flavor profile, they can, and like not have cinnamon in it. Then that way they can
Making
make
your
it
own
that way.
personal pie. You
Correct.
can
Make your
have
own personal.
each component, and then you can add whichever component you want.
I'm so excited for the fall flavors now that you spilled the beans on a little bit of it.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why I caught on to DIY so quickly, is because while I don't eat the best of food, I am really great at baking things and adding my own touches here and there to make them different.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that you're deconstructing things and giving us each piece and we can add it as we want and build whatever we want. I
Yeah,
love that.
I mean, I think one of the things too is, most of the flavor houses, like Flavor West and TPA, the two big ones, um, they weren't they weren't designed to be doing what we're doing right now, basically.
Yeah.
Um, like Flavor West wanted to make a snow cone flavor that had everything thrown in it, so that you didn't have to have 20 different things. There weren't people that were DIYing homemade snow cone flavors. So they just threw everything together. Well, when you do that, you're going to have some people that like it, some people that don't like it. Obviously, tastes are subjective, but there's going to be a specific thing inside of there that they don't like. I really like this flavor, but it would be really good if it didn't have cinnamon in it, or
Yeah.
it would be really good if it didn't have this. So
Or
if
if
you
you're
can-
somebody that's really sensitive to something
Correct.
like that. Because I noticed with you, you're really phenomenal at adding spices to your one-shots. But for me, because I'm sensitive to spices, the one-shots, I can mostly taste the spice more than the dessert element.
yeah, and that's really what my whole intent behind everything is, just so that everybody can enjoy something without being oversensitive to it, or whatever the case may be. So
Excited.
yeah, boysenberry is coming. The ginger is going to be a fresh ginger, so it's not going to be like a candied ginger or anything like that. I'm just trying to look back through
So it's not going to be a
to the
Lumi.
chat.
Not gonna be
I'm
a
sorry,
Lumi.
what?
It's not going to be a Lumi ginger, guys. Don't worry. He's not getting this fresh Lumi. A different fresh.
Cherokee's wondering any nut flavors in the future. Any thoughts about that? That seems like
I am
be a little
currently I'm doing some R&D on some cashew, some
Ooh.
black walnut,
Macadamia nuts for Christmas.
macadamia nuts. I tried macadamia, but they're so full of fat that extracting a good enough flavor to actually translate to a good extracted flavor is going to be near impossible. The thing is, the higher the fat content and stuff,
Yeah.
the more difficult, just because it's so intrinsic, fat and flavor together. Generally, with a really strong solvent like alcohol, you know that's why you use alcohol, because it's a really strong solvent. You can separate the fat from the flavor, but things like macadamia nuts, it's really kind of difficult to do. So, but I mean, cashews, hazelnuts, and black walnuts right now are looking pretty promising. So,
Nice.
Let's see here. He already mentioned sweet potato earlier. Sweet potatoes and yams. Not actively pursuing them, Kathy. You could probably use the Swaggy pumpkin if you were trying to make like a sweet potato casserole or something like that. You could. I think you'd probably have some pretty good success with the VSO pumpkin.
Ooh, and some marshmallow.
Rooibos
Kathy's got pumpkin coming. So,
Okay. Rooibos tea. Flavor already makes a pretty good rooibos. So does Sticks Mix. Sticks Mix makes a good rooibos.
I am.
I don't know
going
if you've
to-
experimented with teas at all, Swaggy.
Yeah, I have some in the process right now. Um, I can't say anything for certain. I need to vape some here. One of the problems is vaping everything myself. I need to start getting stuff out to other people to have them help me too. Because trying to single flavor test everything is kind of a pain in the butt.
Yeah. It's good to have a good
Well, because
beta crew. Yeah.
yeah, because obviously I want to taste it before it goes out, even the first betas, So I'm the alpha tester.
Yeah.
So just trying to get everything, and it's that's honestly, yeah, it's really tough vaping. But I mean, really, when you're doing 3, 4 flavors at a time,
Yeah.
trying to discern, taking notes on each one, like what does this taste like? What are the high notes? What are the low notes? That's another thing too. There's so much diversity in flavor, um, and the way that flavors play with each other. The acidity and the acidity and the sourness and the sweetness and savoriness and the umami and all the different parts that it touches your tongue on, and there's all the chemistry in the way in which they play on your tongue too. So
Yeah.
the better and more cohesive your notes are on what exactly this does when you're vaping it, helps to translate on what it would be good with, um, as far as recipes go, and giving people recommendations and things of that nature. But teas, I have been, I have. Larry saw what I do. I just take mason jars, and that's my R&D. So I just throw stuff in mason jars and throw it in the freezer, and let it sit, and then go from there. So I've got quite a bit of stuff in my freezer right now that I really need to get through the chaos here of moving, and
Yeah.
then actually start
Get around
diving
to it.
into them. So teas, I mean, we could be looking at around maybe Christmas time when teas could be available if everything goes well. But I have quite a few different types of teas. A chai, uh, obviously, that's a huge thing. I'm a real big stickler on the type of chai that I have, because there's chai dwalas. I don't know if you've ever heard of them before, but in India, they're kind of revered. Not as much as cows, but probably really, like, seriously, right underneath of cows is what a chai dwala is revered as, and they are very good at their craft. But I was lucky enough to be taught by a chai dwala how to actually make a real chai tea.
Wow.
So I've been working really hard on getting that so that it tastes really good. So quite a few different, your average black tea, and through the whole gamut. So I mean, we'll see what happens. From my guess, I think that they should be pretty good. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and for those that weren't aware, Swaggy Shane was actually the host of the Indian version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and the movie, the Academy Award-winning movie Slumdog Millionaire, was based on one of his contestants. For those that weren't aware, as well.
I didn't know that one. Shit.
There you go. There you
Wow.
go.
That's
Swaggy making dreams come true. He made my Huckleberry dream come true. He's making Lily's blueberry and baked apple come true. And
Demlin, one of the reasons chilled ethanol extraction is multifaceted. Obviously, the colder that the ethanol is, the least amount of fumes it puts off. And fumes are what is actually flammable. So that's why chilling it is, part of the process. So that you don't have a meth lab that goes boom.
there you go.
Nice.
All right. So, everybody, let's any other questions from the comments? But it's about time to start wrapping stuff up here, so we can go around the room. And if anybody has any more questions for Swaggy Shane, Larry, any further questions for Swaggy Shane?
I'm just excited to see what comes out next.
Me too. Every time he opens his mouth and says something new, I'm like, really? We're doing that? Okay. All right, Adam, any further questions for Swaggy Shane?
No, I think we covered everything that I might have been curious about. I've had conversations with Shane before, so I may have, like you guys, been a little bit more in the know than some of the people out there. But yeah, I think we covered a lot of stuff, so I think I'm good.
Cloud King Cody, that one would be keep your eyes peeled. Keep your eyes peeled for the.
Once I get some initial reactions back from chocolate's a real tough one.
Yeah.
But there's some out in the wild, and once I hear back from some people on what they think of it, then we'll go from there. But I mean, one of the biggest things about chocolates is I don't like scratch and sniff chocolates. You know, like the old scratch and sniff books where, oh, this is chocolate. No, that's not chocolate.
No.
That's what I usually get from most of the chocolates. So I really wanted to not have that scratch and sniff flavor. So
Right, Candyland chocolate, just like how like a grape soda tastes nothing like a fucking grape.
Right.
I mean, that's the same thing with bananas. Like, they've told you that this is what banana flavor tastes like, and it's not what banana tastes like.
Oh yeah, I watched a whole documentary about the history of bananas, and
Yeah. I think we
really
may have watched the same one.
Yeah, it's really fascinating. I think it was a candy maker guy who was talking about it.
Oh, so. Lumi! Lumi!
I just got an idea when you said you were making a baked apple. You ready for it?
Let's hear this.
Uh-oh.
VSO baked line. Baked blueberries, baked apricot, baked apple, baked line.
We'll see how baked apple goes. You can be the guinea pig. Tell me how it goes.
Is it Honeycrisp?
What is your fascination with Honeycrisp?
Right.
They're called Honey Crisp.
It's my favorite apple for apple pies. I'm from Connecticut, so I really love me some Honeycrisp apple pies.
Kathy, no. Oh, Kathy.
Isn't that just banana ripe TPA?
It's pretty close, right?
Yeah, it's like
I didn't
Just
realize how
about
dark
to-
it was getting in here. There we go.
just about to be super brown banana. That's what kind of that has.
But yeah, like Adam said, we're pretty fortunate that we're in the know, and we're pretty fortunate that we have swag in this community. So, no questions, but a thank you for everything that you do for us, and just being the incredible, hardworking person that you are. It can't be easy doing all of this on your own. So,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
I
He makes
have
t-shirts too, by the way.
I have helpers.
You're getting all sorts of thanks out there, Swaggy. I'm not sure if you're following that in the chat, but everybody's
I am.
saying thank
I
you for
am.
everything you're doing.
Sometimes there are some mix-ups in shipping. I know that there's been a lot of problems with my previous mail carrier not scanning stuff in. That should be alleviated now. Also, my son and my daughter. My daughter's just about 18. My son's 17. They are helping put together orders and get them sent out, things of that nature, to try and help them be a little more responsible.
Yeah.
So don't be too hard if there's a little bit of a problem. Some people have had some problems. I've fixed them. So and,
every time I've had a mix up, you've always made it right. So
yeah.
So yeah, I'm.
Worst case is you got something free. It's gonna get fixed, so.
Yep.
Fidalgo says you know how he feels about you. What's up, Overdrip? So yeah, I mean, every wait I've had for the VSO, I mean, I don't like waiting, but every wait has absolutely been worth it with Swaggy Shane. Yeah, I have zero if I have a problem with my order, I just message Swaggy Shane and it's fixed. No problems. No problems at all. So
There's been sometimes, we're a small operation, so there have been some times where when the Huckleberry came out,
mm-hmm.
and you were like, "Oh, the Huckleberry is awesome." I mean, it takes a little while to get some of those orders out when you slam me, but I mean, it's well worth it. It really is well worth it.
Did you see recently that your Huckleberry was rated a 10.1 out of 10?
I did, yes. That was from Session Drummer.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's honestly, I mean, it was everything I could. I'm throwing Huckleberry and all sorts of stuff, Swaggy Shane. I'm getting out of hand.
Right
wait.
now.
Did you do a 10.1? Is that what you were talking about, or were you talking about Session Drummer?
I was talking about Session. That's Session doing his ratings.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 10.1 out of 10. I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, like
it's a 12 out of 5 for me. So
he had sent me a message a while back, and we got everything coordinated, and then he just started throwing those out, and I was like, wow, okay, I can appreciate the thoroughness that he's putting into these reviews,
Yeah. Gil says, "What a great show this was! Thanks Swag for all your hard work and fantastic concentrates. Only a VSO 5-pack from way back. The pair completely replaced FA pair for sure. Yeah, Joel. I mean, the new stuff that Swaggy's got coming out, it just keeps getting better and better. So I've been amazed. Man, from the VSO e-liquids to being like, hey dude, can I get some of that blueberry, to what it's become now. Like, it's amazing what you're doing, brother. So.
That's like, honestly, I really thought that, I mean, I really love doing e-liquid,
mm-hmm.
but obviously with all the stuff, yeah. I mean, I'm really feeling fulfilled, I guess you could say, with producing all the flavors, and especially now when things are in such turmoil and we don't know what's going to happen. At least I can know that I can help people still not smoke. That's the big thing for me. So I know that's another thing too. That's another question that I don't specifically use one shots as vernacular. I try to avoid that simply because of the turmoil that we're going through right now. I want to stay totally insulated from the FDA.
Mm-hmm.
And by using things like one shots or, any of that nature, you can tell the difference. Anything that is a standalone flavor concentrate that I extract is going to be with the VSO moniker. So if it says VSO blueberry, then that means it's a standalone extract. If it doesn't have VSO in front of it, that means it's a one shot. Those are also going to be a 14%. So that's how you can tell the difference. So I know that has come up quite a bit. So anybody who's questioning it, a lot of the 90% of the one shots are from flavors that I had previously that were e-liquids. So,
well, I mean, you made the best apple. You made the best apple fritter ever. So,
damn straight.
So good.
Yeah, there we go. That's a huge compliment from Kathy Nobles. The VSO fruits have completely replaced the old TFA flavors because Kathy'd been mixing for 9 years, right, Kathy? Just just has completely shaken up what she does with her mixes and her recipes. So that's a huge compliment, because she'd been mixing like 2-3 recipes for 9 years. Then happened to wander into one of our shows and we talked to her about the VSO flavors, and yeah, just exploded out from there and got her mixing new stuff and changing stuff up. And I mean, I'll counter that by saying there's nothing wrong if you've got 2 or 3 mixes that you really enjoy and you just want to mix those.
Bayless.
Like Bayless for Lumi. If Lumi had her way, she would stop mixing and just vape Bayless and VSO Blueberry. But yeah, it's you know, what really drives me in DIY is that experimentation, and I mean, Swaggy Shane's, you know, you got the new stuff coming. It seems like you're always putting something new in my hand to mess around with. I should have a pizza vape for you next week, though.
Oh,
I'm still,
shit.
yep. I'm experimenting with the cheese. I gotta figure out how to cheese it up a little bit without ruining the whole thing, because that tomato is so freaking good, Shane.
You know what we have to do, right?
What's that?
We have to send something to Giancarlo.
Oh, we need to. Oh yeah, we gotta get a. Oh, I gotta get a pizza roll now. Oh, how do I do it? Because I was just working with like a regular dough, and there's actually a flavor that came out recently that's been working much better than I expected, and that's that Wonder Flavors toasted bread with butter, or I forget exactly how it's phrased on the bottle, but it's actually working pretty well for a pizza crust. So there's a couple tweaks to it that I need to make, but it's actually got quite a bit going for it. That's right, Rin, actually. Yeah, the tomato is absolutely wonderful. The garlic surprised me with how good it is, and the onion, I've had onion flavors before, Shane. I had that one-on-one sweet onion, but yours just kind of knocked it right out of the park. Like, they are truly one drop in a 30 mil. So,
And honestly, any of these flavors you can use in cooking as well.
I was
Yeah.
just gonna
Very
say,
pancakes.
these are multi-purpose flavors. Everybody,
They are.
They're not just limited to vaping. Like you can make.
I have
SodaStream.
experimented. I've made blueberry scones and I've made blueberry pancakes with VSO blueberry.
Yep. Put it in my
Yep.
coffee.
But like I said, I've been working with a bakery, and they've been making some requests, and I'm like, yeah, sure, let's do garlic, you know. And I kind of joked around. I was like, yeah, I'm sending you something that you're never going to use, but I mean, you really can. You can,
Oh, yeah.
like, you take a couple drops of the garlic, and you put it inside of butter, put it on your bread, and throw it in the oven, and you've got garlic bread.
Yeah.
It's
Add a
they're
couple drops
really
of onion
versatile.
along with it.
Yeah.
Have they had your blueberry yet?
Yes.
Do they love it?
Yes.
Do they make blueberry cookies with it?
No, they add it to their blueberry muffins.
Oh, I'm
Damn
making
right.
blueberry muffins tonight.
What's up, pup?
I was quite happy with, and it honestly started with me vaping, and they're like, "What is that?" And I explained all to them about vaping. I got one of the guys to stop smoking. He's now vaping, and they're like, "Wait, so you put flavors inside of there and you vape them?" And yeah, and they're like, "Well, can we put those?" And I, yeah. Can you do? Yeah. Okay, let's do it. So I've been working with them, and they've been working on
Oops.
talking to the public about educating them about, all the falsehoods that are going on about vaping, and all the it's how it is. It's almost the end of the show. We need to stop not talk about that.
Oh, we can
wait,
we can chat as we go. We can chat as we go.
I want to know what other kinds of things they use your fruits in, just to give me some more inspiration, because I love my blueberry scones and blueberry pancakes. What else do they use? Like your raspberry, your strawberry? What did they use them in? Let's go. I want to know. I'm excited for you.
Breads, donuts,
You
breads,
start making
donuts,
blueberry cake donuts, Lumi.
and like all the different donuts too. Like one of the things is if you use a just a raw strawberry, say, you're not going to get the concentrated flavor. You know, like if you stuff something full of strawberries, or you make a strawberry shortcake, for instance. That's why you usually have like a strawberry glaze that goes into strawberry shortcakes. Get that concentrated flavoring in there helps out immensely. You get fresh, but then you still get concentrated to where it really punches the flavor up. So that's what they were really looking for. So
I noticed that with my blueberry scones, because like with a scone it has to be fairly dry, and when you start cramming it full of blueberries,
right,
the texture of the scone gets ruined. So I just started adding VSO blueberry to my scones to make the blueberry spread out a little bit more.
Yeah. Lewis, it's more of a crushed garlic. More of a crushed garlic flavor than a baked garlic.
That's more of a flavor that's going to sit in my refrigerator in 4 plastic baggies in a little box.
Mine's in two Ziploc bags, and I can still smell it when I walk past the shelf there. Like, oh, like is Jack's cooking? No.
The tease.
yeah, I made sure everything that went out I double bagged it.
Yeah, that garlic it's potent.
I got a little concerned when I first opened that box, because I just see these 2 little red plastic baggies, and I'm like, oh God, what are these? Why are they in plastic bags? And then I like started smelling, and I was like, what did he do? What did he do?
All right, so we'll go around the room real quick. I haven't seen any more questions pop up, so I think we're good to go. I think we've answered everything. We've quizzed Swaggy Shane into oblivion at this point. So let's start with Larry. Larry,
What up?
where can people find you, brother?
Find me at ELR on Instagram there. Occasionally causing shenanigans in Lumi's chat. Here Tuesday, Fridays, sometimes Saturdays. Saturday nights, mixers helping mixers, and that's about it.
Awesome. Thank you, Larry. All right, we'll throw it down to the Al Green of South Chicago himself. The man with the golden cords. Tune in tomorrow night on Golf Tea Vapes. What's up, Adam?
Hey, you just saved me a plug. Thank you. I appreciate that. So as fResh said, yeah, Golf Tea Vapes tomorrow, 9:30 Central. Cloudy Bunker. Right there. Also, you can buy these shirts and other shirts at vapingswag.com. My stuff's there. My band's page, my Instagram, my ELR page. I'm Adam. You may have come across a recipe of mine and liked it or hated it. But whether you like it or hate it, leave me a comment, and I will most likely respond back, because I appreciate that shit. And that's really it. Go buy Swag's shit. Go to VSO Flavors and buy flavors now. Through me, and he's throwing shit in for free.
Yep.
You'd be a fool not to. Thank you for coming out. I did not want to miss this show for the world, and I'm glad I was off work in time to hang out. It's been a
Awesome,
while.
Adam. You're welcome. You're welcome anytime on any of the shows, man. Anytime on any of the shows. You know that. You know that. You know I love you.
Thank you. Likewise, sir.
All right. Lumi looks like she's about to pee.
I really want to go so I can continue tethering my hands to my desk. I have braid orders for Miss Rin. So there's a link to find Lumi. If you would like some Lumi braids or some Lumi stands, I am going to be working on resin and braids tonight. Feel free to add to my little list, and I will get these out for you as soon as I can. Just message me on Discord, Facebook, or Instagram. I do have an alien that's going in an orb tonight.
Oh shit.
Not specific to anybody, so
alien?
somebody can get an infant alien, because it's not being specifically made for somebody.
Oh. First come,
And you
first
can
serve.
catch me on Twitch playing video games. My stream schedule's a little messed up again, but it'll get worked on. It'll get worked on. Everybody knows life is a roller coaster. I'm on the downslope. It's only up from here. So, thanks
Awesome.
for having me. Oh wait, I'm a co-host.
You are the
Thanks,
co-host of
everybody,
the
for
show.
being
What
here.
the fudge are you saying?
Thank you, everybody, for being here so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm gonna tie myself to my desk now.
All right. Then I'll let Swaggy have the last word, so that means I get to go. So, yeah, everybody, remember tonight, coupon code FRUMI, 25% off your order to start with. And then Swaggy is throwing in a 15 mil of the infamous Swaggy Blueberry, which is the absolute best blueberry you're going to buy. And then another 15 mil of the BSO Huckleberry, which is my new favorite flavor, on top of your order. So go over to vsoflavors.com, use the coupon code FRUMI, 25% off. That's good for another hour. So you have one more hour to get your order in. Go over to vapingswag.com. You find the Freaky Fresh Friends section. You can order yourself some of our sweet gear. This is a Vape Bros Vape, Vape Bros Vape, Vape Bros Vape shirt. And all the proceeds go to advocacy from that section. None of us make a thing off of it. So go check them out. Go check them out, everybody. That's all I got. That's all I got. Yeah, tune in tomorrow night. Adam's sweet vocals will be kicking off the Cloudy Bunker episode again. So everybody be beautiful to each other. Educate, advocate, be good for this community. We'll see you on that next one. Swaggy Shane, the floor is yours, man. Say as much or as little as you feel like.
So I just want to thank everybody. For those of you who don't know, Vaping Swag was an endeavor that started way back in 2015. VSO Flavors was a different track. Essentially what that was is to, as I said before, insulate everything from the FDA in the case that we're coming up to what we're coming to right now. We've had very good success with everything. First and foremost, getting people educated, working with advocacies, and just letting people know that vaping is a good way to stop smoking forever. I myself am down to 0 nicotine. I've been that way for the past 4 years, coming up on 5. And I honestly still do it just because I love the flavor. I am happy to share everything with you guys, and I'm happy to, take you guys along with the journey. It's been a great one so far, and as I said, we've grown exponentially over the past year, and it's really amazing that you guys give such great support. So I really thank you immensely. My family thanks you immensely, and thank you for helping everybody do a great thing. I really do appreciate it.
We appreciate you, Swaggy Shane.
I'm gonna cry.
The community couldn't ask for a better friend. Couldn't ask for a better friend. It's always one of the first people jumping in on anything that we're doing, and you've always supported me, brother. So least we can do is spread the good word about what you're up to. So I love you, Swaggy Shane. You're an amazing human.
Well, you guys too.
So there you go, everybody. Swaggy Shane. We were able to lure the King of Blueberries in to wrap up this blueberry month. Next week is the start of breakfast. Remember, breakfast flavors generally take a while to steep, so you might want to start on your homework early. So that's all we got. We'll see you guys later. Have a great evening. Lumi, can you stew me the fudge on out of town?
Remember, as you go through your day, try to be nice to somebody. Get yourself some VSO flavors. Get off your butts and vape.
Bye!